live, and I'll just post into the REBBL notifications as well. But hello, gentle friends, or anyone who's watching this afterwards, because I don't think anyone's watching it right as we're starting otherwise. But it's time for another play-ins game. I'm alongside Kanuki for today's proceedings, as we see Caldergum's Red Hides the Blood up against Huanshi's Red Bull Chorfing Chaos Dwarven team.
I was expecting a hello everybody opportunity to say hello everybody, but here I am. Hello everybody, this is Kanuki.
Right, so yes, we're jumping into things quite quickly. So apologies for the lack of niceties. Let's see, so Red Hides the Blood is the 1440 team, so just check we're on the right sides. We are! Alright, let me just do a little bit of tweaking on the team value displays. So, Kanuki, I know you're coming into this one relatively fresh, but just allow me to catch up at least a little bit in terms of how the play-ins are looking right now. These are the only two teams who have yet to lose a game. Otherwise, the play-ins are actually extremely even.
This is looking like a pretty tight division, much like our own play-ins C division, although in ours we have one coach who is on 2 wins, one coach who is on 2 losses, and the rest all 1 win and 1 loss. So a bit of a different makeup to the divs, but also tight overall, but as you would expect after 2 games.
So going into this one, we've got a pretty big clash of styles here. We've got a Chaos Dwarf team that is overwhelmingly filled with Mighty Blow, and then we've got the Wood Elf team, which of course has got its War Dancers, but it's got a few surprising choices as well.
What do you think are the big surprises on the War Dancers? I see Shadowing. Do I see Shadowing?
You do see Shadowing.
That is a choice.
What do you make of that choice? Since they're not players on here, they'll never see this. We can criticize them all we like.
I think that's frankly bonkers.
Oh, I love it.
I've never seen, I think to my knowledge, a Shadowing War Dancer, but I anticipate it will do absolutely nothing.
That is a bold accusation, sir. Well, let's see. So the kickoff is going to the Wood Elves, and we're going to be seeing an extra reroll going to the Wood Elven team. So we do have one War Dancer who's built a little bit more like perhaps you'd expect with Strip Ball and Tackle.
Yeah, that's how I would normally. I mean, in REBBL, I normally expect all War Dancers to just get Mighty Blow or Strength Up or Agi Up as the first only normal skill that they would get. But yeah, of course, that's a fairly typical War Dancer build and can be useful. I don't know what the rain is going to do for either team. Picking up might be a bit more difficult for the Chorfs, I would imagine.
So to look a little bit more into what we've got going on here, so we've got the initial push up for the center with one of the guard linemen. So that's one of the surprising choices. There's 2 linemen on the Elven team with guard. What do you make of that choice?
I like it. I mean, guard wins games. It's not sexy, it's not beautiful, but on any team, whether you're Chorfs, Dwarfs, Chaos, whatever, guard is good. And even one guard piece on an Elf team can really change the makeup and allow you to do a bit more creative things, be a bit more aggressive. So yeah, it's a good choice.
So if we're talking about some of the stuff that's on the Chaos team so far, we saw the kick was there with Tycum Stonebone, but their 2 really huge pieces here are these Bull Centaurs, both leveled up to level 4, both with Break, Tackle, Block, and Mighty Blow. What do you make of them?
Yeah, those look like good solid pieces. I mean, Break Tackle is so important for the Bull Centaurs on a Chaos Dwarf team, just to give you the mobility to be able to dodge out if you're a ball carrier, dodge in to kill a piece or to put a hit on the ball. Yeah, it's a really important skill to have in the Chaos Dwarf arsenal.
So a successful pickup there for Caldergum puts the ball into the hands of Matthias Leafy Pine, a thrower with accurate. So we'll surely be expecting to see a little bit of passing in this game. But in this first round, at least, even with this extra guard for the Wood Elven team, they've only really succeeded in pushing back the Chaos Dwarf team a space.
Yeah, but that's expected. And as long as you're not, getting yourself knocked down in the first half on your own line of sight, line of scrimmage hits, that's pretty fair for Elves. You're not really expecting to break armor too much against Chaos Dwarves.
Yes, no mighty blow as you mentioned. So again, remember we are in the pouring rain, so catch, intercept, or pickup rolls all getting the -1. Fortunately, it was a 5 to pick up for Leafy, so they've got that fine. I mean, if you're Caldegum here, is the rain going to stop you from actually even making those passes in the first place?
I wouldn't. In a play-ins div, if this was development, Greenhorn or training grounds, sure. But, I mean, everything's on the line. We've got a playoff spot that is very tightly contested here in this div. So you want to, take all of your rerolls for important stuff, not mess around, especially in the rain.
Hey, Mizra, thanks for dropping by. Is Mizra in the division that you're covering for the most part?
Mizra is in my division that I'm playing in. In fact, we're facing off next week.
Well, Mizra, you've got a rare chance to see into the mindset of your opponent here. The Mizra beat my ass in the Division 5M and took the win through the ramp. Well, would have taken the ramp up win, but he actually took the 5M win because he beat everyone in 5M, including me. So
that game, yeah, and Mizra has been, well, as I've said before in Discord, I think he's my pick for coach of the season so far.
Ooh, that is quite a bold thing. What do you? Well, while we wait for the Chaos Dwarves to kind of set themselves up here, and it looks like they're just going to be basically making a line. What is it you're thinking that Mizra is doing that is worthy of such praise?
After this might come in later in I'll be guesting on Lord Brainlord's recap of our division a bit later on in the evening. I've played a bit of Underworld in my day, and I've never seen a coach use a bomber quite to such good effect. I mean, as Underworld, Skitter, and Glart are your go-to star players. You're used to playing, 150, 200 TV down. But especially in the last match, I think the bomber has been exercised quite dexterously.
I will have to go back and see if is there a video of that, because I'm fascinated to see that actually taking place.
Yeah, it should be up at least on the Cabal TV replay.
Yeah, so Mizra, this is Kanuki, your play-in mate talking right now, who's giving you praise for your use of the Bombardier. It's I was really impressed as well. Mizra not only came in and won, but he also crushed through everyone. So that was pretty terrifying stuff.
I know that a coach is pretty good when the admins have to change the rules specifically to adapt to the unlikely situation of a play-in or a ramp-up coach winning a fresh div with a game less played.
Yes. Mitchell's going to ping you on Reddit tomorrow for scheduling.
Perfect. Yep. Thursday works for me if you're around then.
Okay, so to catch up on the game, we did have a failed dodge away as we have the very claw heavy Chaos that comes in, immediate injury. It's a niggling injury.
It's a niggle on the catcher. That's unfortunate. There's no Apo there?
It looks like it wasn't used. It's worth noting as well for Caldegum that they actually lost out on Tiny Tim, their other catcher in the previous game, who got a minus movement. So it's pretty rough time for Caldegum's team, at least in the catching department.
That's a pretty big removal. I mean, Wood Elves live and die by their war dancers, but also their catchers are just such a critical piece in order to let them score a goal. Of course, the war dancers can stop the other team from scoring, but you need those catchers and a decent thrower in order to be able to score yourself.
All right, well, I'll continue the sidebar on scheduling. Apparently, Mitchell says that could be fine, but I'll let you guys figure it out for certain.
We'll sort it out, not on stream, perhaps.
All right, so back to the Wood Elves once again. We're actually seeing a pretty, the sort of domino-style defense of the players line up 2 apiece, and then a sort of cloud in the middle and 2 again. This seems like it's going to be a pretty hard defense to break through.
Yeah, it's a classic elf screen from the Chaos Dwarves, and with all that strength, guard, etc., it's going to be hard for the Wood Elves to push through here. But with the leap, things might be happening, but it's going to require some dice, of course.
Yes, so the first part of the plan is taking down Barton Burnt Soul, who is, of course, the most murderous player on a team full of murderous players. That's the Claw, Mighty Blow, Tackle. Chaos Dwarf, who's been knocked over, but armor was not broken. There's still tons of Mighty Blow waiting for the Wood Elves to come in. I'd have to imagine if you're going to be jumping in War Dancers to the backside, you cannot afford to have Burnt Soul anywhere near them.
No, you want to keep him off to the side and hopefully on the ground if you can.
Okay, Mizra, no, I believe there was only a difference of about 40 team value, so let's just have a quick check. It looks like... Oh, it looked maybe Caldegum spent 10 to get a Bloodwiser Babe and has got the fan advantage. Huan Chi just with the Apothecary.
Yeah, it does look like a Babe for Caldegum.
Alright, so I think, yeah, that was, speaking as a Kislev coach, the idea of leaping everything into the backline is my first and only thought. But it still feels like that's relatively risky to do.
Sure. As it stands now, there's a bit of movement on the left flank, thanks to D'Artan being on the ground, and you're not facing any kind of tackle situation. So you could dodge through, or you could have dodged through a piece on a whatever 2+, 3+, 2+ kind of maneuver. But I think Caldegum is probably fine just waiting. I would even maybe pull back here. Let the slower speed of the Chorus, except for of course, the Bulls, absorb some of that, and then once they've overcommitted forward, push forward again.
So the domino being set up again by Huan Chi over on the left-hand side, leading their most valuable player, again, pretty far away from the center and also in position to get blitzed again. I'm kind of curious, if you're Huan Chi here, you mentioned you've got these incredibly long-moving Bull Centaurs. Do you ever send one of those round to start chasing the Bull Carrier?
Yeah, I'd be tempted to, just to give Caldegum something to think about, because right now he's very comfortable leaving the ball, in the top half of his own half. Whereas if he would put a Bull forward, maybe that forces him to cage up. A little cheeky foul coming in. Oh, and another removal. Wow. Yeah.
That was very, very good. So the KO there on, let's just check who it was. It was on Frank Sancho.
Yeah. But I think for Huan Chi here, he's happy just to keep his line intact, keep the screen intact, and keep removing a player a turn, as it seems to be going for him. And that makes his own drive obviously much easier if he's not facing a wall or a full team of 11 elves.
Oh, unfortunately,
that's unfortunate. And that doesn't get any better.
That is the worst case. Well, almost the worst case scenario there.
Yeah.
You're left next to the Mighty Blow, Claw, Tackle, Dwarf. I mean, yes, it's not another double skull, but...
No, but fairly easy to get that guard piece in there to make that a 2-die hit, and then he still has his blitz to use after that. So this could be trouble.
So let's talk about Wrestle on Caldegum's team, because that's one of the things that they've got which isn't present on Huan Chi's squad. But I believe there's only one player, Sean Demos, who's currently next to the murder piece, who's got the ability to actually start taking down some of these heavy block pieces that Huan Chi's got.
Yeah, Wrestle, of course, for Elves plays two roles. That'll be going down in a soft way when you're hit by tackle. And the other is to act as the piece that will sack the ball and get the ball carrier down when it doesn't, whether it has block or not. So yeah, this will come in handy definitely on the War Dancers to be able to get the ball down. But right now, I'd be pretty much worried about scoring if I was Caldegum right here, not worrying about getting the ball back in the second half.
Yeah, so there's 4 more turns left for the Wood Elven coach, as they are snarled up on the left-hand side. Seems like they're actually committing a fair amount of pieces to maybe trying to break through here, while the body of the rest of the team is kind of lapping around the Elves into a former cage. That's actually going to be a blitz, but where's it going? On to the wrestle.
There you go.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's onto the lineman, and
Oof.
another removal. Looks like at least a stun, yeah. So Zach Smith going down.
Ooh.
This is going to be trouble. Another removal, or armor break and a removal. Yeah, Mighty Blow doing its thing there. And that's a Raj lineman, a very useful piece. And really, at this point, Caldium's running out of good players to be scoring threats.
Sky Telema, welcome to the stream. It's supporting Haunchi here. Well, you must be liking what's happening so far, because the Chaos Dwarves, they've managed to really keep the Elves from doing too much of anything. I think I'd kind of like from Haunchi that they gave a tempting prize, which was one of their most deadly players for the blitzing, and Caldigum was more than happy to take that shot. It goes exceptionally badly, and now the walls are closing in around the Wood Elven squad as they're running low on players.
Yeah, indeed. He's going to have to start making a bit more aggressive and risky plays. And he's just being forced into it by the removals game that's been played so far very effectively by Huanchi here.
Oh, what Hindus is talking about is that they decided to do in their playing game. They decided that passing from a flesh golem to a flesh golem was a sensible move, costing them the game.
Yeah, I think I was spectating that game. Yeah, and yeah, that was a rather questionable move from Hindi the Puffin. Full respect to my mate Hindi or Hindus, but yeah, that was a playoff game, play-ins game. Maybe not the play to make at that point. Maybe in a training grounds or development style level, but
yes.
at least, yeah, he owns that.
Yes, I like it. I like Hindus is the one to bring it up. The still a much more interesting game than skipping 6 turns. That's fair enough. I think that the skipping 6 turns may well have been the right move, but all credit to you for trying to find a way through. Okay, there we go. There's the leap, and it's successful. So we've finally got a Wood Elven player into Chaos Dwarf territory.
Yeah. So that's going to be, of course, now the target for the Chaos Dwarves, being his only scoring threat on the field at this point.
We do have Lim Windy, who could go through as well. As far as I'm aware, there's no limit on the amount of leaping you can do in a turn.
No,
so
leaping is unlimited. But given the number of players he has, it's a bit risky to overcommit too many players as scoring threats, and then you make your ball carrier and the ball quite unsafe itself.
No, you're right. I mean, at this point, there's very few players left to defend the ball. In fact, if they hadn't brought back the War Dancer there, Callaghan would have had an open ball for the taking, because the thrower doesn't have any defensive skills at all.
And that's kind of typical for a elf thrower in many cases. You'll get the good throwing skills and just leave them in the backfield. This one's a little further forward, but probably because it also lacks some of the higher level throwing skills, like strong arm and a double, or he's got the accurate, I guess, and that's about it. Yeah.
All right, so the blitz comes in. It is going to stun up Derek Howland, one of the guard linemen, who of course does not have block, so is relatively vulnerable. The Chaos Dwarves look like they're going to set up again with a similar defense from before, rather than trying to surround the cage in any fashion.
I might have taken the hit on the blitz straight onto the War Dancer there, but I guess he didn't have any dwarves in position that were able to get there with tackle. Can't remember.
No, well, I think of course the Chaos Dwarf blockers with very, very low movement can get caught out of position, as The second foul will not go as well. It's just a stun, and that's going to mean that I believe that was the dirty player getting sent off.
Well, one number at least back for the Wood Elves here.
So that's, yep, Sharp Finger is out of here. That's the only dirty player.
You're updating the table there. I've been very lax in my
That's all right.
my co-caster duties. So there's no tree on the War Dancer team at all. Has that been the case for the whole history of the team, or is that a?
I believe so, though you might have to ask Caldagum in that case.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean I don't play a lot of Wood Elves. Is the tree generally part of high TV Wood Elven teams?
Yeah, a lot of the teams that I see, the Wood Elf teams that I see, play with the tree, but anytime I've tried Wood Elves, the tree just seems to be more of a liability and bloat than anything. But not being a Wood Elf coach, I really wouldn't be able to say what the true advantage of the tree or versus no tree builds are.
Oh, Skyslurm, thank you for checking up for us. So apparently it's never been a tree on Caldagum's. So
all right.
I mean, certainly for my Kislev team, I'm very grateful to have a punching bag in the bear. Unfortunate. Dodge away, the tackle.
He's going to have to re-roll that.
Aye.
Brings him down again. Is there a removal? At least no removal. Or even armor break there. That could have been disastrous for Caldagum. He's only facing 2 turns left. He's only got one quote-unquote scoring threat who's lying on his back and is probably going to get fouled this turn.
Oh, yeah, I mean, even without the dirty player, I have to think Huanchi, given the opportunity to go after one of the best pieces Caldagum has, especially one of the best pieces that has armor value 7, you'd be crazy not to.
And the one without shadowing.
That's true. The even more valuable one. There we go, the sidestep shadowing. Lin Windy, the War Dancer, will get mighty blowed this turn.
Yeah, so chance to remove both of the War Dancers here if this mighty blow hit goes well.
Right, sidestepping away. Not actually going to move up next to the ball carrier. 3
on the armor. Yeah, that's a bit. I don't like it. I would follow that hit up.
So Skytelem was saying, or Skytelem was saying that they were kind of a little bit down on the level of aggressiveness that Huanchi's been showing here. It's been very, very measured so far this game. What do you think of that? Would you agree with that assessment that they could have been more aggressive, or perhaps should have been?
I think he's been right on the right line in terms of what I've seen. He doesn't want to overcommit because we know that there's really only 2 pieces that have decent movement on a Chaos Dwarf team, and he's been fine to box in the Wood Elves where they have been and remove a player essentially per turn almost. So aggression isn't required at this point.
So there is the one Hobgoblin in reserve for Huanchi's squad to be able to get back up to full strength at the moment. Actually, I'll just strip them out of the calculations because they're in reserves right now. We're not on the pitch.
Right, so we should be seeing a foul here coming in on the scoring threat War Dancer. Is he going to try?
It's going to
bring in one more assist.
All right, so moving around the front just to be safe. Yep. This is the kick goblin. I love the fouling animation for the Hobgoblin. It's great.
Yeah, the Hobbo. Oh dear, just a stun and another removal. So that's not ideal for the Chaos Dwarves. Losing a second to a foul sending off.
Yeah, that actually equalizes the amount of players left on each team, which is kind of astonishing.
Yeah.
Things have been going.
It's swung around quite a bit thanks to those fouls, but still no scoring threat on turn 7. So he does. Caldagum needs to start pushing up now, which looks like he's going right side.
So at least Limwindy with the sidestep is unable to be surfed, or I mean, I want to say unable to be aggressed onto, but of course we know that any movement up this side is going to put them in a reach of Tazak Fastfoot, who has got the tackle to have a pretty decent chance at taking down the War Dancer.
Yeah. I think I might be considering handing off to the War Dancer and just side caging that piece with him as my new ball carrier. But it doesn't look like he's going that far.
Interesting. Looks like maybe a screen to get in the way. Eldof just running out of ball carriers. Well, the primary one is Ghostbane, who's got sure hands and blocks, so they're still in the mix. They are suddenly running out of pieces that can really effectively foul, for sure.
Yeah, I think we might see, or might have now seen, the end of the chore fouling game thanks to those 2 send-offs. That dodge is good.
Eldof does remind us that the pouring rain is in effect, so I have to assume that's going to be more of an issue for the Chaos Dwarf team than it would be for the Elves. But it persists into the second half. If
Caldium gets the score here, then it's looking pretty good for him, despite everything that's happened so far. And of course, if the rain continues in the second half.
Oh yes, Juan Sancho with a double 1 failure on the dodge means that they won't be part of the conversation. As Spike Milligan, gets taken out instantly. That mighty blow. It's a badly hurt.
Badly hurt on the guard. But he can base that the ball carrier now. He didn't follow. Of course, it was a both down, but now he does clip him on top. He could bring another piece in, or he could screen around the front with the other bull.
Let's see. So, do we see a? Excuse me. Let's start getting out my scribbling pen because I can. And
epic pen time. Illustrator.
Right. Doesn't need to be done, but will be done anyway. So
I need to follow your tutorial on how to do that.
You do. So I think, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have to get around in front of the ball carrier.
Yeah. With sure feet. Oh, and break tackle is used. Not sure I would have gone there. I might have been okay just hanging out on the 18 line there. Oh, and another skull and a skull.
Not too bad, not too bad.
Reroll gone, but I guess he had the rerolls for it anyway.
Okay, so the Elven thrower, Matthias, Leafy Pine now facing down a tricky situation. There are at least 2 standing elves who are... I mean, Danny Dancer is within scoring range, as is Tommy Shooter Chicks. So there's still a chance of seeing the score here.
Yeah, and in fact, the 3+, 2+, and then the throw, sort of dodging out to the right, might be the safer play than trying to dodge through itself. There's, of course, huge risks involved in any of those maneuvers.
Let's see. So let's have a quick check in with make sure I've got everyone. So Tycum and Danak both have been sent off. That's all fine. Let's quickly glance away for a second. So Sean and Frank both are KO'd. And Paul Spike Milligan, that's right. I still need to update them. Oh, there we go. Here's the blitz coming in. It's going to free up the War Dancer.
Is he going to try to get the War Dancer? Okay. So he wants to score, or at least screen. What's he doing with the War Dancer? If he's not scoring on it, there's no point to take those dice. So it clearly seems to be he's going to try to pass to the War Dancer, dodging out with the thrower, and then probably right from behind the guard piece, he'll make the throw.
Yes, it's a little awkward trying to get through.
Yeah, true.
Here.
You might as almost just take the throw from where you are and avoid any more dice, even with the -1 to the throw. Yeah, everything else is worse. Yeah, he's going to do that.
It goes across, and it's good!
It was good. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I think I agree with that. That was all the other options to make a clear throw were just wasting more dice.
Yes, I think that was a pretty good defense from Huanchi there to at least force, a situation where a roll of a 6 would have basically, completely crippled the game for them.
But at least you had the built-in pass skill there. The throw could have been, or the catch could have been re-rolled if the war dancer failed to pick it up.
Yeah, Sky's Dilemma, that is extremely typical elf stuff. So let's just check in. So we've got for the Chaos Dwarves, the King Hellboy will be making their way onto the pitch. That's the spare Hobgoblin, so they'll be added to team value. I think there was actually some quite good, a return of, let's see, it was, so Sean Demos is still out. Frank Sancho, I think, is the other, let's see if we can find them.
Sancho was removed, wasn't he?
No, Frank Sancho was removed, but they've come back again.
Okay.
That was the KO that came back. So we're leaving us with 8 Elven players because of 2 badly hurts and a KO still active, and 10 for the Chaos Dwarf teams, if I don't miss my mark.
It looks copacetic to me.
Wait, what does copacetic mean? I've heard it before, but I have never used it myself.
All right, I suppose. A very fancy way of saying all right.
Then I am copacetic with you saying copacetic.
Very good.
That's probably not how you're supposed to use it. But hey, we're all learning here today. So we've got one short turn of Fuanchi getting the chance to get some boots in. So, 10 players. As we discussed before, that perhaps the days of the Hobgoblins fouling over and over again might be over, but this is a free opportunity to go for that if Fuanchi wants to risk losing another Hobgoblin to being sent off.
Yeah, still, he's only got 2 Agi 3 players on the pitch. He's got the one with sure hand, so technically he's got a fouling piece. He's got his full-ish complement of players. I'd still be a bit more discriminating, at least, about my targets. A war dancer or one of the catchers or the thrower, yes, but not. I wouldn't be fouling Lyman at this point.
I think that's fair enough. There's certainly the expected return there is not terribly great. At least the murder pieces are going to get a chance to, hopefully, for Huanchi, thin out the Elven roster a little bit. I mean, coming into the second half, given that Kaldagam is against a team that I think has got 5 mighty blows, it feels like they've done all right to still have 8 active players.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And having a block lineman on the line of scrimmage there actually saves him, or temporarily saves him at least. I wouldn't be too upset as an elf coach. Oh. So sure hands in the rain, not doing anything. So, well, that was only going to be a matter of whether they get a vanity pass or not. So no worries there. But yeah, I wouldn't be too overly concerned about being down 2 or 3 as it stands on the field now.
Well, it's going to actually be better than that because the KO Sean Demos with block and dodge is returning it for the second half. So that's a big player back in the mix. As Hindu's reckoning it's going to be a draw for the Woodies at worst. If the Chaos Dwarves don't pitch clear. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that would be my assessment. I can't see Chaos Dwarves on almost any day scoring twice in 8 turns, especially if the rain persists and the Wood Elves manage to keep at least 6-7 players on the pitch for the next few turns, or at least until the Chaos Dwarves score the first. So I think worst case scenario is we're looking at a draw for the Wood Elves here from their perspective.
So if you're Kaldagam and you know that's going to be the case, how much pressure, or I guess how appealing is the option of actually trying to go after the ball carrier in this situation, and maybe try and at least get the win for yourself to get up the top of the play-ins.
Yeah, I would say it depends how this first round of line of scrimmage hits go. Oh, we have a couple removers.
So Lazy Blitz is a Bull Centaur.
Oh dear.
And Shooter is a Lineman, so that's pretty good for the Elven team to have the Bull Centaur out of play, but Shooter's out of the game. Oh boy. They are badly hurt.
Oy.
They didn't get Apothecary then, did they? Surely not.
No. Not an alignment.
Right.
But well, he might have been removed on the line of scrimmage hits anyway, so it might not have mattered. But yeah, losing that Bull Centaur for a turn will slow down things.
Ooh. Okay.
And yeah, there goes another one.
That wants the block Lineman as well.
Yeah, so now the Wood Elves are down to 7. Oh. And is it going to be 6?
Not quite, but it was a pretty darn close thing.
Very close to being down to 6. So yeah, if that had been a removal, and there's still the Blitz to come in.
Whoop.
Here comes another one. Spicy.
That is a rot.
Oh dear.
Was that the Apothecary? It's Apothecary into minus agility.
Oh, that's a dead elf.
Oh boy. Alright, so please pass your Fs along in the chat for what's their name? It was
Demos.
Sean Demos.
Oh, yeah. So at this point, no, I'm effectively 4 players as the elf coach. I'm just trying to survive the last 8 turns without losing a ward answer or a catcher or my guard lineman.
Let's see. So, I think I may. Let's see. So we've got the 4 standing elves. We've got Frank, who is taken down. So let's see. Have I got too many people accounted for? So both the war dancers are still here. That's good. Frank is currently stunned. Let's see. Who is out of play here? So I think I've missed someone on my list. Alan. Alan is out as well. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So we're down to 890 team value on the pitch, which I guess is a testament to just how much team value is tied up in those war dancers.
Yeah. You're bloat. What have they done? Nothing.
Well,
they did score it.
I mean, yes. Though I kind of feel like more or less any elf could have done what they did in that particular circumstance. I suppose it's the leap across, which I suppose has been the only thing that the war dancers have kind of contributed in terms of being war dancers.
Yeah, the leap was critical to being able to get into scoring position in the first place. But yeah, this is. I don't know if I would suicide that far. I might have just put him up as a potential scoring threat, just to keep the Chaos Dwarves on their toes, and then thought about using the guard and a war dancer, the strip war dancer, to leap into the cage, and then the other war dancer to potentially recover. But yeah, I think I agree with Mizra that the Chaos Dwarves should just motor down the field and see if they can get 2.
Yeah, I mean, for the currently for the Wood Elves, they haven't got any KOs at all. As the leap comes into the cage, it's a 1 dice block, and it's good. That Smux Ghostblade going to get knocked down, so that strip ball would not have worked on the sure hands, but the defender down will. Unfortunately, the scatter is a little bit awkward for the Elves to get hold of now.
Yeah, there's only the lineman, and I don't even think he's in range without crazy dodges.
Let's see. So 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then maybe 9.
It's not so bad, but
it's going to be the play.
Go for it. Yeah.
Gets the pickup on the 4, with -1 because of the weather. So I have to think you've got to go for it and dodge away, or you're just going to get blattered next turn. You may as well have not picked up the ball at all.
Or just hoof it down the far right side.
Oh yes, Elof called that as well. Yes, the punt it down the pitch.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be pretty. That could be crippling for Huanchi here if they can't actually ever get the ball back again.
Yeah, it could stop the drive dead in its tracks if that ball is sort of safely, even an inaccurate pass is fine there.
So this is going to be, yes, the point range doesn't affect the passing, so the dodge and the go for it are both successful on a 5 and a 2. So this seems pretty straightforward for Caldagum to put this one out of reach for Huanchi.
Indeed. That was a smart play. And a lucky play, but a smart play.
Well, I mean,
is he not punting? Is he still thinking about it?
There's no one else to use, so if the turn is still going, presumably they are still thinking. Huanchi has got... Oh, there we go. Whoop! Okay, that's a pretty good throw, and the scatter's good too.
Perfect. That's as good as you can hope for. It's out of range, I believe. Even, well, they're... Garak, I guess, can get it with the GFI, but in the rain, no chance.
Alright, so the Chaos Dwarves going to try and come in for the punish. With that last play, it's seeming like anything but a draw is going to be out of reach for the Chaos Dwarf teams. Because, yeah, the ball carrier is down, so it's only going to have 3 movement to get towards the ball. You're right, Quick Teeth being used as the ball carrier here just seems kind of ludicrous. So it's instead just punishment time.
Yeah. Which seems, again, like more of a development league strategy, trying to get the SPP, but it's also, well, if you play Chaos Dwarves, then you're used to this kind of, masochism. You don't win, but you can kill other people's favorite little toys.
Yes, Sean Demos definitely taking the worst out of that one in this game, so effectively... I suppose at this point, well, let's see. So we've got 1 death, effectively, with that block dodge lineman, but everyone else is badly hurt. So Caldagum's coming out of this one pretty okay right now.
Yeah, if he finishes top of the division after this game, having only lost that 1 lineman, that's an ideal situation. It's as good as you can hope for having survived these chorfs.
Okay, I like this on Huanchi. So it's a pretty risky pickup, and as it says, Hindus...
Oh, he gets it.
Okay, this is the one player who can move it down the pitch.
Just roll 6s.
That's all you need. Okay, so if we look at the game overall, Huanchi has now got the ball at least on the fastest player on the pitch, I believe. Yeah, effectively with the movement 9. So... is it still a possibility to get those 2 scores in?
No, it's a possibility to get the 1 score in. Juan Sancho is feeling some GFIs here. Oh, marking the ball even before moving anything else. And, that's going to be a failure. Yeah, we still have 2 Wood Elves hanging out rather deep in their own half, the Dandy Dancer, the War Dancer, and then Juan Sancho, dodge lineman, who is basically irrelevant, standing in the corner of his own half there. But now we're going to have to see some movement from the Chorfs. If they want to score, they're going to have to start motoring. But there's nothing much to stop them, really, except GFIs.
Yeah, good call on Juan Sancho, who's hiding down there. I completely forgotten that they were there, and I'm not even sure Caldagum has remembered that.
I'm wondering if Ayrson. Yeah,
oh,
that's the other guard piece. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means the ball carrier is now freed up. Are we going to see a handoff? Surely not. No, okay. It's not going to go that far.
Not in the rain. And yeah, I do have to wonder if Caldagum has completely forgotten about Juan Sancho.
They are super, super far out of position. They're not exactly the most, the player that's valuable enough that you want to keep them out of the ball entirely.
I mean, I would make fun of them, but I've done it about 1,000 times myself.
I think a quality of life thing for Blood Bowl would 100% be if you've got a player that you haven't used, and maybe wasn't used on the previous turn as well, I suppose, that it would just prompt you to say, are you sure you want to leave this player doing nothing?
Yeah. There is apparently, of course, you could use tab, which will circle through your players, but I don't know any coach, including myself, who actually uses tab to, cycle around their own players.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that was the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
here we go. This is
Danny
going to be
Dancer?
some red dice into the cage.
Oh
If he
boy.
gets the ball down, oh, that's a skull. Well, that's at least not a skull.
It's a bold play. It does at least strip one space away from Huanchi's. Oh, the strip ball, of course!
Yeah, strip ball works there.
I forgot the strip ball was going to be important in this case because the ball not actually being carried by the player with sure hands.
Yeah, and the other thing is we've seen the rain and its effects, and I was thinking about getting a mark in there. Oh, jeez.
What's it going to be?
This is going to be one of those elf games that I've had myself. You win, but at what cost?
Well, I mean, long term, we've got, 6 badly hurt, 1 dead, and 1 effectively dead. So
yeah, the guard linemen, of course, they don't have any defensive skills to dodge, wrestle, or block. So that's always a risk when you take that first, but you need to take it when you get them, because you're not going to get another chance. And I 100% believe that he's just completely forgotten about Juan Sancho. But he could be the safety elf.
He's very safe where he is right now.
Yeah, but he needs to be engaged because you have Hatanlund Blood Axe moving up the field. We could very easily see, now that the ball is grabbed by the safe hands player, 1-1 is looking likely with basically no elf team on the field.
Yes, there are.
And now I would foul either of the Warnances with anything at this point, even a Chorf. But
yes.
We're not going to see that.
I mean, Danny Dance is definitely, until that ball pickup was successful for Ghostbane, certainly the most dangerous. We do have the blitz coming in, so it's not going to be a blitz on the ball carrier. As Hellboy actually gets taken out, that is a completely rookie Hobgoblin.
Yeah, you just eat that. That's not a problem. I mean, you're up, 8 players at this point. I don't even know if you count one Sancho on because of he hasn't moved him in 4 turns.
Maybe that's what it is that we thought Caldegum hadn't gotten a tree man, but actually it turns out they did, and they just had been rooted down in the corner this whole game.
Yep.
Back across the Huanchi, they've got their 4 turns to make the score. It's a long way down there, but there's really very little in the way, apart from, of course, the silent and deadly Juan Sancho, who has got dodge, but nothing else.
Yeah, and so at this point, you need to keep Leafy Pine, the thrower, I suppose, as a potential scoring threat. Of course, the downed Danny Dancer could be that. And then you're going to need to engage your other ward answer, Lin Windy, as some sort of a cage diving threat at this point. But that's probably just going to get him killed at this point. So maybe just take the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, so I think Sky Salem has it, but it's I do as well agree. It seems like it's too late for the Chaos Dwarves to actually win this thing. They can get a heck of a lot of SPP out of the deal.
Yeah, I think the strip ball cage leap was able to delay it 2-3 turns for Caldegum to at least guarantee the draw, if nothing else.
Yes. Hindu's running out. Yes, we're looking for the riot or blitz on the post scorers. Oh, that is a risky going for it. Gets punished. Wait, they were going back a step? Oh, I think they actually outpaced I think the ball carrier outpaced the other members of the cage.
That's a classic Chorfendorf move. even also orcs are likely victims of that kind of a play. You plot out where you're going to be and then realize that your black orcs actually can't form a cage anywhere close to you. But there's really not much risk except red dice war dancer leap at this point.
Yes, with the guard piece on the back of what we might call the Chaos Dwarf cage, that certainly will not. It won't necessitate. Oh wait, no. Now it will necessitate a leap to get in and make the hit.
Classic anti-cage, eye cage, or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, there's specific things you can do to mess with leap, isn't there? In terms of having a not like a traditional cage, but more like a screen.
Yeah, well, the guard piece next to the ball carrier there is the key. So that if they do leap in, you ensure 100% that it's going to be red dice with no chance of real ball recovery.
Oh, hey Shinsuke, welcome to the stream. It's another confusing game of Blood Bowl. Because I have
Juan Sancho has woken up.
Aha! Okay, so it's going to be a petty hit onto Burnt Soul, the player who has been taking a pretty heavy casualty toll on the Wood Elven team, but no attempt made on the ball carrier.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, he's got sidestep, bludge. I would be fine just marking the ball there.
Yes, if you've got sidestep blood, surely this is the time you want to be using it.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, he's got tackle and can close most of the available spaces he would be able to sidestep to, but still, that's what you have those skills for.
Yes, I suppose you're right that we'd end up with a Chaos Dwarf coming in here. So just to catch up, Shinsuke, he isn't actually a Blood Bowl player, so it's probably very confused. This is in the play-in stages of the REBBL Blood Bowl competition. So these are all the teams that won out in their lower divisions, fighting for a place in the main playoffs themselves. If this does go ahead as a draw, this means that the group we're in right now remains wide open for anyone to take it.
Yeah, that's going to be quite interesting. Our division, as I mentioned at the top, is sort of shaking down that Elliot is running away, even though his wins have been, I would say, narrower than I would have expected. Has still managed 2 wins, whereas the rest have done 1 win and 1 loss at best. So I haven't had quite as close a look at play-ins B, but all of it is, as you'd expect after only 2 games, still fairly tight. We'll see what the next round does in terms of results.
All right, so it's going to be a blitz on to Fastfoot. No armor break there, so no miracle attempt at knocking the ball carrier over here. Bull Centaur, Bartek, lazy blitz. It's going to be tying down Juan and Lynn Windy for the time being. But there we go, there's the assist coming in, so another attempt to get some SVP.
Still at 2 die here. Eric gets him down.
Is that a clone?
I do wonder if the leap cage dive will be happening on turn 15.
Oh, you think that to try and give as little time as possible for Huanchi to respond to it?
Yeah. And also, he needed to have the players standing for some recovery. But, and also, theoretically, the thrower is still in scoring range with 2 turns. Another eye cage. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see. Is the strip war dancer come in, and then the other war dancer used as a potential ball recovery piece. Gonna be quite a lot of dice.
All right, so this is do or draw time for Caldagum. I mean, given how many mighty blows there are, to just lose 2 players when one. I mean, using the guard player for sure. Losing the. Actually, no. The 2 players they've lost have been quite bad. It's going to be another hit onto the killer.
Okay, so just taking out the cage corner rather than the ball carrier. Well, at least he has to be marking the ball carrier now, though. Why is he leaping? What is he doing?
Sure.
What? I don't know.
That's kind of surprising because okay, so it was a leap over to here. I thought maybe there was something going on there with not wanting to stand next to the tackle mighty blow player.
But
there's a lot of things going around.
Yeah, but dodge out with dodge was 1 in 36 versus making a 3+ leap seems questionable.
All right. Well, the question is answered as to the result. There's a nice knee slide in there at the end there for Ghostblane. Smock's Ghostblane will tie the score up 1 apiece. We'll have to see if there's any wonky kickoff results to throw the results into doubt.
Yeah, I don't see that the Wood Elves have the players to be able to mount any kind of one-turn attempt here, but we'll see what... No, there's just not.
He tried to put the Shadow Dancer base in the hobo. Mishra, is that right?
Okay. Possibly. Yeah, that could have been the play. I missed what the actual action was there.
Yes, I think we were overwhelmed by the confusion of the moment.
Yeah. But then why not base the ball carrier with the strip piece who came in with the hit on the cage corner if you were trying to make life a bit difficult for the Chaos Dwarves.
Okay, there was saying yes, I suppose with the one with the War Dancer with Shadowing at least had a chance of staying up and next to the ball and causing problems, but yeah, having both dancers there I guess is ideal just for the possibility. It was always going to be a risk there for Calderon. We were talking about how much of a risk they wanted to take with the last part of the game and potentially put their extremely minimal team, which is 4 people strong right now, at risk actually making a play.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, I can see the sidestep with the shadowing would have been a decent piece to have in there, but I still would have followed in to have the strip one also on the ball.
All right, so we've got the setup here. We have got the Elven catcher back here, Leafy, ready to receive the ball. 3 SVP from leveling. Both the War Dancers still in play, as well as Juan Sancho, the tree man in waiting. Oh, interesting. What is going on here? I think
is he not taking anyone to pick up the ball and just going? I don't understand. What's he doing?
I think maybe Caldegon's assuming there's not going to be a favorable kicker result, and so instead is looking to get some hits in.
Or he's hoping for the riot and getting pieces that can.
But a touchback would be pretty nice, though.
I think but that's. Can you have both?
Well, the kick piece is gone now for the Chaos Orphan team, so a touchback is more than just a completely impossibility. So there we go. Throw us back to the back again.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
All right. If there's not a riot, we riot.
Riot or riot.
Yeah. We've got 1 reroll left for Caldegon. We've got 1 turn. Let's see if they can somehow squeak the top of the division. Again, otherwise it's going to leave play-ins, at least this division of play-ins, extremely tightly contested. Quick snap, it's not a riot.
And the rain persists.
It has been a rainy day here in the play-ins, all the way through the match from the beginning to the end. I can understand why some people would want to take those stadium enhancements just to remove this kind of shenanigans from the game.
It always ends up being a bit spicy. It can mess up teams like Elves who need to pick up the ball, but can also inconvenience the other team. So yeah, I like it. It's in the game. It's in the game.
Sky Slam, yeah, it's it's not exactly the world's most convincing defense because we've got a lot of spaces here that can be leapt through if you're a war dancer. Because I'm trying to train myself to always look for the holes in the defense, like from here to here, where you can leap and then not have to dodge afterwards. The Misra only 2 permanent casualties for the Elves.
That was a dead guard lineman, and what was the other?
It was I think it might have been a wrestle dodge. Actually, I think I wrote it in the roster wrong.
Yeah. There was a minus agi on the Raj lineman Sean Damos, which was a pretty nice piece for a lineman.
One night block. Yeah, I think it's real nice. I mean, I don't know how much you'd be dodging with that one. I could sort of be semi-tempted to keep them around, but...
Yeah. At minus agi on an elf team, it's kind of like minus strength on anything else. If it was a rookie lineman, fine, it's line fodder, but with those skills, don't like it so much. Oh.
You would certainly be hurting if they ever picked up MVPs. Oh, picking up apparently seems to not be on the menu for Leafy Pine, as they fail the reroll. That's a double 1, so no free SVP. But I guess if you couldn't pick up the ball, the chances of successfully throwing it and getting that SVP were fairly minimal as well.
And the fake tree, Frank Sancho.
Of course!
Picking up our MVP.
Good job, Frank. I think Ghostbane leveled up as a result of that. So let's have a quick look at the SVP. Oh boy, yeah, you can see.
Yeah, lots of SVP there on the Dwarves.
I'm glad
as you would expect.
Yeah. Yes. Let's look at the extra numbers here. So 1 kill inflicted, 5 injuries inflicted, and as for Red Hides of Blood, I think yes, the KO was the height of their aggression, with only 1 pass. And let's see, the block sustained actually kind of similar, but the casualty sustained a little bit different.
Yeah, that's AB7, AB8 versus a lot of Mighty Blow. That'll do the trick.
All right, let's have a quick look in the dice just in case there's anything fun in here. I don't know if you've got a better grasp on Kanuki on the way that these dice, what it's like trying to tell you here exactly.
It's all a mystery to me still after many years. Yeah, the armor dice, that's a lot of failure, I would say.
That sure is. I think, so that must be how many times armor was broken, presumably, versus how many times they failed to break Chaos Dwarven armor, based on just, the results of the game. Whereas,
and even the dodge results are not great there for the what you would expect. Most of those should have been a 2+.
There definitely felt like there were some dodges in there which went a bit wonky.
Yeah. Whereas the Dwarves 100% on the dodging.
That's true. And the armor rolls, good lord, only failed to get through armor once.
Yeah. Well, AV9 again and also with the additional, thick skull, so that can protect your noggin.
And yes, the going for it, of course, very successful because those were primarily given across to the Bull Centaurs, who are uniquely equipped to do that. But let's get out of here and just check and see if the leaderboard should be updated. I imagine they would have validated that one. And we can just check and see how things lie. I think that was the last spot of the game. There we go.
I think you need to go left. We're still... Oh, you're already in the plans. It's all good. Never mind. So, right. Yeah. There's still a missing coach in this div, right?
Yes. So, because Misra got advanced from the ramp up, it fell to the next ramp up coach, but I think they kind of just sort of went AWOL because they didn't think they were going to get him. So it does mean that Huanchi and Caldigum are at the top of the division at the end of that. Although, let's see, who's got the admin win this time around? So it's Nuffle X Machina. That will only put them mid-table.
Yeah. So now I can just tease Hindus a bit by saying, if only he hadn't tried that stupid handoff with his fleshies.
No, it wasn't a
would.
handoff. It was a pass.
It was a pass, yes. So he would be top of the table right now.
Yep.
Clear and easy sailing.
Yep.
Yep.
You won the hearts of the viewers. was that what you were passing to from your heart
That's right.
to our heart? How wonderful.
We still love you, Hair Puffin. That's all good.
All right. Well, Knee, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a true pleasure. I think we're done with this day. Did you want to advertise what you've got coming up in terms of your videos?
Yeah, sure. Nothing live, but at least if you are either in Play-ins Division C or Training Grounds I, there should be some recaps coming up a bit later on in the evening. Lord Brainlorb and I will be doing, I think, first our Training Grounds I division, and then my own division, which is Play in C. Lord Brainlord will be recapping, so those videos should be up a bit later this evening, and look for them in the recaps channel.
I absolutely will. Apparently, Caligan would like to come on and say a few words at the end of that game, so we'll just see if we can get him in here.
Sure.
I was going to friend up with you on Discord. I'll see as well if Juanchi wants to come in and say anything. Definitely won't keep it very long. Where have we gone? There we go. Plans A. Yeah, I'm very interested to see. Oh, actually, apparently there was a level up on the ball carrier hobgoblin rolled double 5.
So that's movement. Is that movement?
Let's see. Does it show us in here? Probably not. It feels like that's probably. I have a feeling that's armor or movement. I don't know.
I don't hate. Wait, 6 plus 4, 5 plus 5. I think 10's a movement.
Yes, I mean, they do have very, very low armor. Movement or dodge seem like the two choices on double 5.
Yeah. I would probably take dodge there on the double. For the ball carrier. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems really, really good in a team that otherwise is not going to have any dodge at all.
No. Of course, all the teams you're going to be facing are going to have a ton of tackle just like you do, but...
Yes.
Welcome to my life.
So, Sean Demos, they're not fired yet, and Tarzan Tim will be returning to the roster for the Wood Elven team, Red Hides Blood, with a minus movement. What did you think of this catcher with blodge, sidestep, and diving tackle? Because it seems like that's maybe becoming more of a thing.
It's a bit memey, and I don't know. It's fine. I would rather have other skills than diving tackle. I mean, you could have had... So they come with sprint, right? And then you need sure feet to get the movement. But of course, he's movement busted, so he's never going to be a one-turner.
Oh no, Hindus, because I've been just covering each of the games live, I felt like it's been less than necessary to have a recap. But I can do, if you guys would like a recap as well, I can always do that on top of the games. But no, yes, there is sprint but no sure feet. So yes, the one-turn capability, of course, is very limited by the minus movement.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of TV value for a really... I mean, it's not...
It is a lot of TV value.
It's not so hard to clear that off. It's strength 2, so I'm not so worried about a diving tackle piece. Yeah, okay, sidestep is a bit inconvenient, but it's a lot of TV value.
If Tarzan Tim had been in this game, they would be dead right now. Because, Caligan was using them to mark players fairly continuously in the previous game. Yeah. And that's why they ended up with minus movement.
I might be recycling that piece, but if Caldium is somehow romantically attracted to Tarzan Tim, then all the more power to him.
Hey, who wouldn't be? What a fella.
Quite.
All right, I think we'll wrap things up there. But yeah, do check out the recap channel on the Rebel Discord to catch up with what Kanuki's doing. And yeah, hopefully at some point again we'll cross paths. I'll definitely be interested to keep up. Well, I mean, I think I'll keep up with your division by way of Mizra anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose good luck. Though,
Thanks.
of course, I'll give the most luck to Mizra because he's representing 5M.
You bastard. All right, that's the last time I'm ever on your channel then.
I got what I wanted. Now it's time for me to leave. But yes, thank you for dropping by. And yeah, I hope those recaps go well and that we'll cross paths again somewhere down the line.
Indeed. Cheers, mate. Thanks. This was fun.